Oops. I don't want to send it to y'all twice. Hey, hey. This is our theme song here from the Social Seeds podcast. I'm going to see if I can get him to edit that a little bit, but this is our Social Seeds podcast theme song, okay? It was made about a year and a half ago, maybe a little longer than that, y'all. So every time you come in, you're going to be hearing this music, okay? I hope that you guys are well. I hope that you all are happy, safe, and peaceful. All right. Hey, Casey. It's good to see you over here now. We are going to be getting into our Vibrate Higher Daily book. We're on page 77, y'all. So if you haven't gotten the book yet, just follow along with the readings. Again, I hope you guys are happy, safe, and peaceful. I hope you guys are well when you got up this morning, whenever you got up. And if not, I hope that there is something said or done in this podcast to get you into that space, okay? How y'all doing today? Grand Rising, Grand Rising. Grand Rising. Thank y'all for coming on over. Thank you for the follow now. Thank you for the follow. You doing good? I'm amazing. I'm amazing. It's been a very smooth morning. Okay. So I'm excited to see what we have in store for us. I did send out some invites for you guys to come on in. Again, thank y'all so much for the follows and for the likes, okay? We're going to get to it very shortly here. Again, the theme music was created by the Jedi Om. You can reach him on IG at the Jedi Om. DJEDIOHM. He also does jewelry. He's the one that made my crown that I wear sometimes. He does all kinds of crystals. He's also Reiki specialist. So if you guys are interested in all of that, make sure that you follow him. And he's also a tap dancer, a teacher as well. And he's amazing, okay? I hope that you guys like the theme. What y'all think about the theme music? I'm going to get him to change it a little bit because it's a little older, but I feel like I still like the smoothness of it. All right? And we're going to get into it. Beauty and the Beast. I haven't forgotten about you. Thank you for the follow, love. I have not forgotten about you. I want to give you, I want to do something different with you. And I hope that we can work it out with your schedule, especially with the kids, okay? So I will be texting you. I still got your number and everything. Thank you for coming on in, and thank you for the follow. I haven't forgotten about you. I just got a lot going on, okay? All right. I caught him live the other night, tap dancing and singing. He is awesome. He is. I got to go. I don't know if y'all remember last year. Yeah, if you were following me last year, I went up to Chicago to watch the play that he was in called Bronzeville. Well, they just went to the Apollo not too long ago, and he himself has been performing ever since, going back and forth to the Apollo and other stuff. And I'm just so happy that he's doing the thing that he loves to do. And he's a very good tap dancer. He's awesome, and he's awesome in person. Awesome to talk to. He's a Sagittarius, okay? Lots of fire there. Lots of fire. All right, y'all. So we're going to get into this, y'all. I hope that you have the book. If you don't, 2121 as I look up, so 33, okay? So here come the numbers. So I hope that you guys have the book, and if you don't, I hope that you can either go to a library, pick up the book, and follow along with us, or go to the library and photocopy the pages. A lot of people are saying that it's really helping them understand and open up to their spiritual journey. I appreciate the emails, the text messages too about the book, and I hope that you guys find it as helpful as I did when I first started reading it, okay? All right. Thank you so much. Yes, very talented brother. I remember when you were there. Yeah. It was so much fun. I had a good time. I got to see a few of my subscribers, followers that lived in Chicago when I was there to visit. I'm definitely going back. I just can't do the code. So I'm waiting until I know it's not no cold up there or snow coming or I don't know because I can't do the code. Okay. Me and the code are not friends. We're not even a little bit. Okay. Let me put a little bit of, I do want a little bit of music in the background. You guys, hold on for a second. Okay. We're going to just put on a little bit of background music, okay? I don't want to be in the studio. I want to be on regular YouTube. Something low. All right. All right, y'all. All right, so again, we're on page 77. Can you get a screenshot of the book? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, I hope you were able to get your screenshot, okay? All right, so let's get comfortable and let's get into our book, okay? Y'all ready? The last thing that we went over is the desert, the purpose of the desert, and then the storm. We're still talking about the storm, okay? We also talked about the mountain, okay? The purpose of the mountain, why you have to go through the mountain, why you have to go through the desert, which is you going alone and being able to release and also reflect on what you can when it comes to you. That's the desert. The desert is a space of purging, it says, and allows for higher connection and alignment with the divine. That's why you have to go through the desert time, which is the hermit mode that we talk about when we're talking about tarot, okay? Grand Rising, what's good? All right, I'm glad you got it. All right, so we were talking about the desert. We're talking about the storm now, okay? The storm is when everything kind of gets ripped away from you and you feel like, what is going on? Like, why am I losing people? Why am I losing things? Why did I become homeless? Why did I become this? Why did I become that? Remember, it can happen more than one time, okay? Because you're going through different phases. You're going through different transformations. You're not just going to go through a storm one time. When have you ever seen a storm come around one time? Oh, we are in a season right now where it's very stormy. As you can see, what's going on the TV? This is because of a transformation taking place here on Earth, period, all over across Earth. So we're in a storm now. I feel like we're in the eye of the storm. Okay, thank you so much for the heart meets, y'all, and becoming a member of my team. All right, understanding that it's a part of where you can't see in front of you too far. But what you're doing is growing your faith. You're growing your faith in where God is leading you, especially when you're in the eye of the storm and not really knowing that where you're going. You may feel like you understand where you're being led, but you're not being able to see it. So this is when your faith is being grown. To believe that God is going to lead you, or spirit, however you look at it, Allah, Buddha, whatever, okay, is leading you to a higher space, leading you to a better space than where you have been. Understand it's not to punish you, but it is to give you character, to build your character, to build your integrity, to build who you are as a person, understanding that you're not alone ever, even in the storm. Even if you feel like it, know that your angels and your spirit team and God is right there with you in the storm. Okay, so let's continue. We're on page 77. All right. Vibrating higher is how you can outlast the storm. While in its midst, you vibrate higher by seeking shelter in, aligning with, and anchoring yourself in the divine. Drawing nearer to the divine, a greater force, gives you spiritual covering and leads to insight, strength, direction, and the perfect peace that Holy Scriptures speak of. Through the storm and afterwards, as you move onward, you gain greater resilience and power. Remember that you're never alone. I just said that. Remember that you're never alone in the storm and that it has a greater working purpose in your life. This perspective allows you to endure and outlast the storm in a more empowered way. As a result, the storm elevates you to higher levels within opening the way for a new direction and higher stability in your life. And that's exactly what I just said. It's not that you're going through the storm to break you as a person. It's not to break you, it's to make you. And to make you understand what you're made of, okay? Understanding that when you come out of this storm, you're going to be a different person. You're going to see things differently. You're going to do things differently. And that's what's meant to happen, okay? Storms have 3 stages: the developing storm, the mature storm, and dissipating storm. Knowing this and recognizing when you're entering or leaving each stage helps you to remain prepared. Keep in mind that all storms pass. The skies clear and the sun comes out again. Calming and stilling your mind is a spiritual tool that plays a huge part in calming and stilling the storm. And that is another space where meditation comes in. Your hermit mode also comes in, okay? Since the storm is not a physical terrain like the mountain and the desert, it can happen at any time during the journey. That's what I'm saying. You can go through it several times, okay? Sometimes there's something that you may learn in one storm, and then another storm comes and you learn something totally different. Or you go through something totally different so that you can see something differently, okay? This is a trademark of its unstable nature. It can happen in any terrain. When this happens, you may find yourself feeling not only alone, but also temporarily overwhelmed. Physical storms and spiritual storms are both created by unstable atmospheres, but they also help stabilize the atmosphere. That goes, let me stop right there for that, because I just got a download from Spirit about my own storm that I'm going through right now, and I'm sure some of y'all are going through some too. Being told to leave one storm to come to another, but understanding that this storm is a storm where I am learning, growing, studying, and becoming more of who I'm supposed to be. I was in a space when I was in Baltimore that it was a total storm in that house. There was a lot going on in that house. There was a lot going on in that atmosphere. And it was time for me to move on. And I kept hearing the voice, it's time to go. It's time to go. It's time to get out of here. And little things kept on happening in that house and with me and my son to push me on out of there. And I knew that that's what it was for. So I asked and, asked Spirit, well, where am I going? Because I don't have no family I can go to. I don't have nowhere to go. Spirit will give you the answers to that, okay, where you're supposed to go. Into another storm, okay? However, this storm is much more peaceful. This storm is allowing me to be in a space where I can actually think, put things in place, and be more organized. Because I was in a space that was falling apart all around me. The atmosphere was horrible. in that house. I couldn't think straight. I couldn't do the things that I needed to do. I couldn't even cook in the kitchen because of the things that were going on. So what you have to understand is your perspective of it all. You have to understand that it's not, sometimes you get moved from one storm to the next, but it's to grow you, because you're already outgrowing a space. You're already outgrowing that atmosphere that you're in, and spirit wants to move you. And it may feel like this is very inconvenient. I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know how I'm going to pay for this. And spirit's like, if I'm moving you out of it, do you think I'm not going to take care of you? So what you have to do is understand that you're stepping out on faith and growing and understanding that spirit is going to take care of you. Also, spirit wants to see, are you going to step out on faith? Are you going to take this leap that I'm telling you to take? Or are you going to stay right here where you can't think straight, where you can't produce? You've outgrown this space, and I'm telling you, it's time to go. Okay? So understand that sometimes you go from one storm into the next, but it's a little quieter, a little more balanced until you get to the next space of where spirit is trying to take you, okay? Whatever is hindering you from moving forward, the storm comes to clear the way through. Necessary cleansing and purification. Remember during the storm that this too shall pass. Purpose of the storm. The journey brings you to the storm to strengthen you, to clear your path, and to reroute your life. The storm purifies you and helps you develop a higher level of spiritual, mental, and emotional stability and power. Now we're going to talk about the ocean, okay? Thank you for coming on in, Juan. How you doing? Life happens in tides and waves. The ocean is a spiritual metaphor for the state and vastness of your emotions and energy. It's the unexplored depths of your subconscious mind, your potential, and the current vibration of your life. So understand how big the ocean is and how deep it is. People that explore the ocean, marine biologists and archaeologists and all them, all the divers and stuff, they still have not covered all of the ocean. That there shows you how big and how deep the ocean is. So all spirit is trying to tell you is I'm trying to lead you somewhere so you can explore who you are, what you are becoming, okay? And it's deep. It's very deep, okay? Waves represent your inner life, your emotions, vibrations, energy, and moods. Your waves are what you, at any given moment, vibrationally feel and express. Your ocean speaks through your actions, behaviors, choices, moods, and words, which makes me understand that, and should make you understand, that you have control of your emotions, of the ocean, because it's what you bring out, what you decide to bring out, what you decide to allow. Again, with how are you waking up in the morning? That starts your day. Are you waking up in a bad mood and waking up, oh God, I can't believe I got to go to this job again? Or are you waking up with a grateful heart? Thank you for giving me another day to open up my eyes, to be able to move a little bit forward on my journey. How are you handling your ocean, okay? In the course of each day, the waves come and go to the shores of your life moment by moment, experience by experience, and tide by tide. Tides represent your outer life, the surrounding stimuli that affect your inner waves, such as the people, foods, and energies you come into contact with. Tides show up as either high vibration or low vibration and vary in intensity, like high tide and low tide. Tides are the experiences and circumstances that with skill you navigate into, through, and then out of. The various ocean states represents the sliding scale of joy and turbulence in your life. Like the ocean, you are capable of being peaceful, calm, soothing, stable, focused, and balanced, as well as stormy, overpowering, unstable, unpredictable, unfocused, and imbalanced. The ocean is about maintaining higher awareness and balance with and without, so that you don't feel unbalanced or disoriented to the point of sinking too deep. When the mind is at a higher vibration, the ocean within is a place of empowerment, refuge, and relaxation. When the mind is vibrating lower, it's a place of disempowerment, turbulence, and vibrational imbalance. Emotional waves can obstruct your vision and hinder your ability to navigate forward successfully and clearly in life. That's what I was just talking about. When I was in that other place in Baltimore, it was so off. The atmosphere is off. I couldn't think. I couldn't create the way that I wanted to. I didn't have the energy. It was sucking the life out of me. When you're in a space, your atmosphere really does affect how you're going to be. Your environment really does affect you. And we learned that in social work. For those of you who understand that I've been a social worker for over 20 years, most of the social work that I've done is in the inner cities. And it's because it's a turbulent place. People are trying to find their way, and all they hear is a bunch of noise. And I'm not talking about the actual noise from their neighbors. I'm talking about within them, because there's so much going on out in the street. There's so much going on out and around in their environment. There's no peace. So how you expect there to be peace in your home? Even though you can create a space of peace, which is what I did, but it does change after time. You could get new neighbors, because a lot of people are renting. A lot of people are not buying the spaces in the city. So if you get new neighbors and they're noisy, or like they were doing in my neighbors, it was coming through the wall. The smoke was coming through the wall. We could smell it if we just walked out into our hallway. And it was just uninviting. I never let people come over. I never invited people to come over. That's just who I am. But it was because of I couldn't control that environment, okay? So understand your environment has a lot to do with what's going on inside of you as well, okay? Where was I? When in balance, your emotions support your vision, progress, and movement forward, birthing greater strength, courage, and faith along the way. Everyone has to journey through and cross their own ocean. The purpose of the ocean. The journey brings you to the ocean to gain inner balance and peace. The ocean moves you into higher levels of balance and self-control. This terrain also relaxes, restores, and purifies you during the process. The ocean washes to shore what no longer serves you. It's up to you to release what goes to shore. Instead of holding on to what comes up, detach and allow the ocean to wash it away. This is how the ocean seeks to initiate you into strength and higher vibrations. I feel like when you allow the oceans to carry things away, it's even relevant for the actual ocean. I don't know about y'all, but when a water sign is connected into water, okay, because I'm a water sign, I'm a Pisces, and I feel like most water signs feel this way. When you're connected, there's a calm, a peace that comes over you. Not to mention salt water is one of the best cleansers, spiritual cleansers for you to be in spiritually, to wash away, to cleanse your energy. So if you're ever feeling the need, go to a body of water, especially salt water. Put your feet in, even if you can't submerge your body, unless it says don't put your feet in that water. Please don't do that. But if you know that you can, go in and at least put your feet in. It will start the cleansing process. The feet are very important to the whole body. Okay, first of all, it holds you up. Secondly, there's a lot of different organs that are represented in the different areas of the feet. And it is for cleansing. It is for soothing. That's another reason why Epsom salt baths are really good as well. Okay? So make sure you look up the foot. Definitely the Asian culture has a lot of information on the different parts of the body that are represented in the foot. Okay, so pay attention to that and do a cleanse as often as you can. I'm someone who I want to live by the water. I want to retire there, and I know I will. Um, and in the space that I'm moving to, I will be near the water, and I'll be able to get a daily cleanse if I want to. So when you can make plans to visit an ocean, please do, okay? We're going to talk about the fog now, okay? In the fog, which is just like the storm, it's not a terrain, so it can happen at any given time, okay? Grand rising, grand rising. In the fog, you can't see your way clearly. You feel stuck, and you may have to slow down or stop to regain clarity and greater insight. This is what I was talking about, you not being able to see right in front of you, but going to spirit and saying, okay, I'm trusting in you that you're leading me the right way. Okay, this is where your relationship with spirit, with God, with Allah, with Buddha, whoever you follow, the universe source, is strengthened because you can't see, okay? And you're depending on spirit to lead you, okay? I'll start over. In the fog, you can't see your way clearly. You feel stuck and you may have to slow down or stop to regain clarity and greater insight. When you're in fog, your path can be clouded by fear, distraction, stress, and exhaustion. Other people and doubt may distract you, and you may find yourself experiencing spiritual heaviness and low vibrations. As you vibrate higher, the fog eventually clears, and you break out of any stagnation and blockage in your life. You're able to move forward. Sometimes you have to break from the norm, try something new, and practice lots of self-care to defog your mind and life. But like a lighthouse, you can shine through the fog by seeking the light of the divine and the light within. If you are not aware of and tuned in with the purpose of this metaphorical weather, you may find yourself making impulsive and reactionary conscious or unconscious decisions. Like the storm, the fog is not a terrain, but rather a state that can happen at any place along the journey. For example, you might discover a period of feeling immersed in fog when you approach your mountain. And when this happens, you are left feeling both perplexed and overwhelmed by the obstacle in front of you. Everyone has to clear and overcome their own fog. Purpose of the fog. The journey brings you to the fog to gain greater clarity, to purify your mind, to release what isn't serving you, and to offer better focus and direction. It's about finding your higher way through, okay? We're going to finish on page 82, and we're going to start the new chapter that starts on 83. I'm going to go over one of the self-reflection questions on 36. Thank you for the follows and the gifts, y'all, okay? Thank you for joining my team as well. We're going to finish this out that I'm reading now. And again, we're going to go over one of the self-reflection questions that's on page 36, okay? And when we pick up, we're going to start on 83. 83 could mean something to you, okay? Overcoming the terrains, and it is an 11. So it definitely is about you being on your path and about you being aligned to your soul family and also possibly to a soulmate or a twin flame, okay? Overcoming the terrains. When you're growing into higher vibrations, your ability to overcome metaphorical terrains and weather becomes a spiritual art. You'll become more and more skilled and masterful. No longer will you be defeated by what comes. You'll know it's a sacred and positive process that you're called to journey through. I want to go back, I don't know why, but it's being brought back up to me, the last talk that we had. And I remember asking you guys one of the questions, and someone answered that everything was going smoothly and I'm good right now. And I remember asking, so if everything were not good, would you still be okay? And this person was honest and said, no, I'm working on that. I'm working on being good in whatever season I'm going through. And that's what this is about. That's what this section is about. That still, even though you may be going through some type of fog or a mountain or a desert, to stay in a higher vibe so that you know, because you know that this, you're going through the different terrains. You're not staying there. You're going through them to get to the next level. Okay, it's very important to have a self-care routine. To especially when you know that you're needing more loving on yourself, you need to have a self-care routine practiced all the time so that when you really start going through a space where it's unfamiliar for you and you're growing and expanding, you put that routine into place that you haven't gone away from, and it becomes easier for you to get through the different valleys and mountains. Okay, this is essential on the journey, and it makes all the difference between feeling overwhelmed versus feeling like all is in divine order and you're more than capable. You'll remember you're the hero. You'll be more and more poised and in your power. We're each here to prevail over the terrains of our lives, in spite of it all, and to accomplish what we're sent to do. Vibrating higher is how we do it. Apply and integrate all the necessary tools that you learn along the way. When you find yourself journeying through an invitation to vibrating higher daily, and each is a gateway, and an initiation process for transformation, elevation, fortification, and higher purpose. Whatever terrain you're currently in, see it as a sacred place, a strengthening place, and a resting place. Rest into the process and honor what it has come to do for you. Because understand that it's not happening to you, it's happening for you. There's a reason why Spirit is asking you to go through this, to leave this place, to journey to another, to release that comfort zone that you're in, to be uncomfortable for a while. When you're uncomfortable, understand that that's where growth is happening. That's where blessings happen. That's where you get to see what you're made of. That's where God shows you that you are the hero in your own story. You don't need someone to come and save you. You need your relationship with God to strengthen, okay? So that you understand that you're going through this. This is temporary. This is temporary. This is temporary. I don't care if you have to put that on a sticky and stick it all around the frame of your mirror. This is temporary. Or stand in the mirror and say that. This is temporary. I'm going through this storm. I'm going through this fog. I'm going up this mountain. Okay? Instead of asking always for the mountain to be removed, sometimes we need that mountain because it's strengthening us. It's showing us different areas of us so that we know how to, when something else comes in front of us that's an obstacle, we know calmly, with stability inside of ourselves, that we're going to make it through this mountain just like we made it through the last mountain. Okay? Now turn to page 36 if you have the book. And let's get on with this self-assessment question for this social seeds. All right? Page 36, like I said, which is a 9. Okay? Thank you so much for the follows, y'all. Okay? So self-assessment, page 36, question 2. Do you feel a sense of disorientation after eating a particular food or having contact with a particular place, person, or thing? Who can answer that question for me? Who would like to answer that question? It can be as many as y'all want. Do you feel a sense of disorientation after eating a particular food or having contact with a particular person, place, or thing? And do you notice it? Do you pay attention to your body? Even though you may love that food, does it do something to you? Okay. And do you allow yourself to continue to be um in the environment still, or do you remove yourself? Do you keep eating that food? Do you keep going to that place? And why? I appreciate you guys answering. I would like a little bit more in depth of a question. Okay, an answer, okay? Yes, I still allow it. Okay, so thank you for answering that. I just limit it. Okay. What is keeping you from doing away with it altogether? Do you know that within yourself? What is keeping you from not letting it go altogether? So that's actually like kind of hitting a brick wall over and over again, thinking that that wall is going to be a little softer the next time you hit it. Okay, let me say that. And I'm not coming down on anybody, so I hope you guys don't get offended. But I want you to see it for the reality that it is, okay? For the real that it is. When we continue to allow certain things in our life, when we go to places that we know make us uncomfortable, when we deal with people, you're just allowing that same process. And then you got to go back to your safe space and reprogram yourself all over again, cleanse yourself from that energy all over again, instead of not allowing it to begin with. So okay, let me get this straight, Beauty and the Beast. Being alone makes you continue to deal with something, and having people around for your children. Yeah. That's the thing, it's about forcing things to change. Okay? Um, we're not supposed to be trying to force change on anything or any place or anyone. We're supposed to be going with the flow. And if you find that something is a block to a flow, you should do away with that in your life. Okay? And I'm not saying that it's easy. I had 4 children myself, and I did have to bring them from among my family because I saw the toxicity. I dealt with it. I dealt with the trauma that came from my family. I dealt with the attitudes, the personalities, and I understood that that's not the kind of space that I wanted them to be in, regardless if it was going to leave me to be alone with just me and my children or not. I knew that God would bring the right type of energy around us. You have to have faith that when you leave something that's not good for you, or God takes away things from you, that God's going to replace it with something better. Spirit, Buddha, Allah, whatever you believe, source, universe, it's going to be replaced with something better, because God is realizing that you're realizing, like God is seeing that you're realizing, that's not good for me. I don't want to do that no more. So God's going to be like, all right, so now let me usher in this for you, okay? It's the sacrifice. Sometimes we're scared of the sacrifice. We're scared of things not always going our way. But know that when there's a block, it's redirection, okay? A lot of the time. Know that when something makes you feel uncomfortable, or someone or a place, it's not meant for you to keep exposing yourself to that. It's meant for you to move on your journey away from that and go to somewhere that's higher vibing with higher understanding, okay? And that's exactly why I said I'm not coming in here to offend anyone. So it's not to make you feel offended by it, okay? I know it's not easy. I just told you I went through it, okay? And I know times are different now, but not that much. My kids are only in their 20s, okay? So I get it that when you're dealing with it, it seems that there's no other way to do things, but it really is up to you. You have more control in a situation than you feel like you do, okay? All right. So what it is very hard. It is very hard. What you have to understand is God is showing you what you need to see and what you need to remove yourself from, okay? Stop trying to force things to change. That's not your job. That's why you become stressed out, depressed, because you're trying things a different way when God's showing you it's not going to change. It's not going to change. You can't fix this. It's not your job to fix it. It's not your job to fix people. It's not your job to fix the environment all the time. Sometimes it's just for you to remove and surrender that I need to leave this alone. You need to surrender it because we cause our own dis-ease. We cause our own anxieties. We cause our own issues sometimes when we're still trying to stay around and make something work. Okay? Absolutely you do. But understand that that time was never wasted. And I feel like because we spend some time with someone or in a space trying to fix it up and it's still not, where we need to be, or God is telling us to move on or whatever, understand that that time's not wasted. You've learned through that. You've learned, you've grown, you have a different understanding of what affects you, what doesn't affect you, what you can do in a situation. Understand you're not wasting time. Some people feel like, oh, I was a late bloomer. Like I used to say that about myself, I still do from time to time, but I wasn't. I was right on time for what God had for me to do now. It's not always meant for you to go to school or go to college right after high school because God's like you're not in the right frame of mind. Wait. Okay, it's like some of these kids go to college, you see them with the frats and all that stuff, or just on a weekend. There's beer bottles everywhere. They're not showing up for their class. They're not taking their classes seriously. They're flunking out. They got a 1.5 GPA, and just to spend all this money and not go to class. Okay, so there are some times when God will be like, nope, that's not the way for you to go. So I'm going to allow this to distract you so that you don't go down that path. I have something for you to do, but I need you to learn something over here first. So don't feel like when you put some type of energy into a relationship or you put some type of energy into something that you've done that you did not learn something there. It's how you see it. If you say to yourself, that was a waste of my time, then it was a waste of your time. Okay? Then it was. But if you look at it in a higher perspective, you'll see what you learn. You'll see how you've grown from that situation. You'll understand that you were supposed to go through that. And nothing is a coincidence. Even though we may feel like, I made the wrong decision there. No, you didn't. You were supposed to learn that lesson. You were supposed to meet that person to go through whatever you went through so that you could finally step into your power and understand who you are. Okay? So sometimes a lot of time people get bitter because of the experiences that they've had in their life and they feel like, well, I shouldn't have had to go through that. And I understand, I've been there. But when I looked back over it and I realized how protected and how I learned through the situation, I realized you were preparing me for something greater. So you wanted me to see what I didn't need to be in, what direction I didn't need to go in, the people I don't need to hang around, the places I don't need to put myself in. You were showing me that. And so I'm grateful, okay? Because now I'm a totally different person because what I've experienced. So it's all about your perspective of things, okay? Sometimes we're hard-headed and we do need to learn stuff the hard way, Okay? Thank you so much for sharing my live. Oh, thank you, Gris. I appreciate you. Absolutely. And that's what it's all about, because you don't know where God is going to place you. If you're opening your heart, opening yourself up to different experiences, understand that there's a purpose for it all. And it may not be, you may be like, okay, so what was this for? Okay, got an attitude, face all funked up and frowned up and shit. And you might be like, what? Why did I have to go through that to learn this? Why couldn't I just have this and not go through that? Because some of us don't understand that you need to experience it to understand it down in your soul, okay? To go in another direction. Some of us are hard-headed, and I like to say this because people don't understand that humans, the human side of us, not the spiritual side, the human side of us understands pain. And we know we don't want to experience that shit again. And so we'll change up. That's what your intuition and your discernment comes in, okay? Because you're like, oh, I seen this before. I heard this before. This place seems familiar. And you'll back up. Won't you back up? And when you realize, okay, no, this is a repeat. I've seen this film before, and I do not want to experience this again. That's what it's all about. And I understand that a lot of things that we go through are hurtful. But again, like I said, we are very hard-headed people. And we tend to repeat things until we get it. That's why Spirit allows you to repeat certain things. Because you didn't get it when you were there the first time. So Spirit will say, okay, I'm gonna change it up a little bit. I'm gonna make it look a little bit more brighter and sweeter. I'm gonna make sure that it looks like it's good. But if they're really using their feeling, their intuition, their gut, their discernment, let me see how they act now. Okay, God wants you to be ready for what God has for you. Okay, and it doesn't always feel good to go through some of the things that we go through. Okay, but it's because we need to understand not to touch it. Like I always give the whole imagery about your 2-3-year-old coming into the kitchen and you're cooking and they want to touch the stove. And you're like, that's going to hurt. That's going to burn you. Don't do that. Don't do that. And you tell them. And you turn your back and you're going to do something else. And they put their hand up there and they're like, and they screaming and stuff. You're like, didn't I tell you not to touch it? That's basically what Spirit is doing for us. That's basically what Spirit is doing for us. Didn't I tell? I don't care if it looks interesting. I don't care if it looks good. Everything that look good ain't good for you. Okay? And I feel like a lot of us don't get that the first time. So we wrap it up, we bandage it up like it never even happened. And we go right on back over there and touch the damn stove again. So it's like, until you get it, I'm going to bring it out towards you in different ways. Until you get it. And a lot of us don't like that. Because we're thinking, well, God, why would you let me? Because I'm trying to get you to use the gifts and the tools that I've already instilled in you. That's why I let you do that. That's why I've allowed it. Whether you like it or not. I'm trying to get you somewhere. I'm trying to take you somewhere. And if you're not listening to my voice, you're listening to what is telling you, no, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead and do that. You listening to the people around you saying, oh, it's okay. No, I need you to tune into my voice. To me, because I'm going to lead you the right way. Not the things and the people that look all sparkly and shiny and it looks like fun and everything. And you find yourself on your ass and no one is out there to help lend a hand to pick you up from where you done put yourself. I hope that I'm making this understandable. I hope that you guys are following what I'm saying. Are there any questions? Because I'm just talking, all right? But I want to know what you guys have to say. I'm going to try to get our music back on. Thank y'all so much for the follows now. Trying to get us hooked back to the internet. Okay, good. Does anybody have any questions about what we've been reading about what we've been talking about? Okay, because I'm open for questions. And remember, there are no dumb questions. The only dumb, stupid questions is the ones you don't ask in here. Okay, I don't care what other people say or do. But in here, if you're not sure of something, I need you to make sure that you understand that we all started somewhere. We don't know everything. I don't know everything. I just know what God is telling me to do. And what I'm being told to bring out toward y'all. That's how we go in here. Okay, so if anyone has anything to add to the conversation, it is very much open. Okay? Absolutely, you definitely will be humbled, okay? Thank y'all for the follows now. When I keep going on about this, we are going to be ending this live soon, by the way. This will be at a later date. It will be on the social seeds. I finally gave my son access to my YouTube. So make sure you follow us on YouTube, especially if you miss any of the episodes. You will be able to rewatch them on our YouTube. And it's at Social Seeds Podcast on YouTube, okay? I feel like I put the link in the bio. I will take a look after this live to make sure that I have. There's a few other Social Seeds on there, but it's when I have guests on the show. So make sure that you guys take a look at those because I will be starting to have guests again on the show. I have come across a young lady who is going to be coming on, hopefully on the next Social Seeds. We're going to be talking about, I ran across her on TikTok. Her name is Trusting Tammy. And she's going to come on and talk with us about vibrating higher, about talking to ourselves in a different way, okay? Because I feel like a lot of us struggle with that because for so many years, we've talked down to ourselves. We've been taught to do that. And it's the reconditioning that needs to happen within us before we start seeing with it without of us, okay? So I plan on bringing a lot of different people on the show to share their stories, but also to show us how to vibrate higher daily, okay? Not just to talk about it, okay? You'll know, Juan, when the spirit feels good to you. Sometimes, we get stuck in the hermit mode because now we've cut people off that no longer serve us, but then we're scared to let new people in. And I myself am still going through some of that. I'm still deciphering. As a Pisces, we like to be alone, okay? But God is asking me to open up because I'm building a team. I'm building a network to help me with the co-creating of a project for Spirit. So understand that you're always going to be tested. You're not always going to bring the right people in your life, but know that you have the ability and understand that I can walk away and cut you off whenever I feel like it, okay? It's not about when to start letting people in. It's about still using your intuition and your discernment about who you are letting in. If something don't feel good, if you're around someone and your energy is drained, or you just feel something in your gut telling you, this energy ain't good, then you'll know that this is not someone that you need to be around, okay? It's definitely hard to get back out there when you've been in hermit mode for so long. And I have been for like 4 years, almost 5, okay? And I've been growing and learning and changing over those last 5 years like you wouldn't believe. The person that you see in front of you today was not the same person that started this whole fast forward into a spiritual journey. I started in my 30s is when the first awakening happened for me that I remember. Okay, I feel like I have been going through awakenings in my teenage years and also my young adult, but in my 30s is when I realized what it was. Okay, and I started to become into hermit mode then. But I would come out and still do things and be around people that I didn't have no business being around, and finally started cutting people off and places off and stuff like that. Okay, but in the last 5 years, I've truly been in hermit mode. Last year, I went out and started traveling because Spirit was like, it's time for you to get out more. So I started traveling more, okay? And this year, I plan to do a lot more of that too. But you have to understand, each individual is different, Juan. So it's going to be different for you, just like it was for me, okay? You're going to feel an intense need to get out among other people. But just remember that you have your intuition, you have your discernment. Your body's going to tell you if a place or a person is good to be around, okay? So trust in yourself. Trust that you're going to know when it's time to start allowing people back in, okay? Absolutely, Casey. Absolutely. 3 years, okay. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Any questions that I can answer from my perspective, I will. I don't have anything to hide, and I'm very transparent. Y'all know that. Okay, I feel like this is what more of the new earth, the new world that Spirit is creating through us as a collective is going to be more about. People are going to be more transparent. People are going to be more, have more integrity, more honesty. I don't feel like the old world is not going to be able to deal with the new world. So people are either going to change or they're going to be left behind, dealing with the same systems, with the same ways that we've done things over time. It's changing. It's changing. So yes, I appreciate that you guys come in and that you guys listening to the podcast. The next podcast, you guys, people have been asking me to do a little bit or more on my story. So I may be doing that unless we have Trusting Tammy coming on. If she's starting to come on, because she's going to be a regular, like every other podcast, she's going to be coming on with us. And we have a meeting on the 31st. And I'm going to have other people coming on to show us different techniques, different ways to speak to ourselves, different ways of manifesting, different ways of doing all kinds of stuff. Okay, where we're trying to call in our higher selves and connecting to our higher selves so that we can stay in line, okay, with what's meant for us. Yes, a lot of people don't like change. And that's why they're scared of it, because they're so used to things going a certain way. Well, if I do something this way, I know what's going to happen. That's another thing about hitting that brick wall. You already know, even though you may try to go around it and try to force it to change, you already know what's ahead of you. You know, that's why some people stay stuck, because they're like, but I know what's going to happen if I'm here. People like to have control over something, okay? Because in the past, they didn't have control over something, and it hurt them because they didn't have control over it. Not knowing that you were supposed to learn from that hurt. It wasn't supposed to make you stuck. You were supposed to learn from what you did and get back up and try it again a totally different way or a totally different space or from a totally different perspective. It was not meant to make you stay behind that brick wall and keep hitting it and keep hitting it and keep hitting it. It wasn't meant for that. It was meant to make you say, okay, let me check this out. Can I move it? Can I go through it with this? Do I need to go around it? Or do I just need to remove myself from the whole situation altogether? That's what it was meant for, okay? So change is hard, but change is inevitable. And if you don't want to, then you stay stuck. And it being stuck leads to bitterness, leads to you not living the life that you've been blessed to have. So many people pass away with not achieving their goals and their dreams, and it's because they have allowed some events and some experiences to keep them stuck. And that's not what your experiences are for. Good, good. All right, you guys. Again, I hope that you guys enjoyed this Social Seeds presentation. And we're going to go on out with our theme song, okay? We're going to go on out with our theme song. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have questions, if you guys want to see something different going on, oh, now it doesn't want to play. And it played earlier, but it sure don't want to play now, y'all. All right? Always technical difficulties during Mercury retrograde. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I really do. All right. There it is. Y'all are so welcome. Please DM me with any questions. Please DM me with any suggestions. Stay connected. I'll see you 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time next Wednesday. Thank you guys so much for the gifts and the likes and for joining my team. Good. I'm glad it was. I'm glad that you needed it. I'm glad that it helped. All right. Again, this was produced by the Jedi Om. And if you are interested in having any sounds or beats, he is a producer. He also is a Reiki master, and he creates healing jewelry. He's created my crown for me, created my necklace for me that I wear sometimes, you guys. So if you're interested, look him up on IG. You can also look him up here on TikTok, okay? The Jedi Om, okay? All right, you guys. Don't apologize for not being able to be on here. I'm sorry that you're ill. All right, you guys. I'll see you. I might get on and do a reading on the other channel. I don't know. Usually Wednesdays I'm going to be cutting back some energy. Plus I have my subbies later on today. All right, you guys. I love y'all. And I'll talk to y'all soon.